So today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 core products for 3 core needs. And when we talk about 3 core needs, what I'm talking about is, for the purpose of this discussion, what are the 3 things that we really need to concern ourselves with in order to optimize health? And when I think about these things and what these things are, I think about body composition, overall well-being, and then performance. And we'll talk about these things individually. So when we talk about body composition, if you've heard me talk about this before, you know that I'm talking about the relative proportions of bone, fat, water, muscle that are in the body. And this is generally a much better sort of metric to look at when you're trying to take upon some type of dietary intervention for the purpose of losing weight or looking better or whatever. We'll talk about some of the pitfalls of just weighing yourself rather than measuring body composition. The second is well-being. And when we talk about well-being, I'm not necessarily just talking specifically about physical well-being, but this also involves factors like emotional well-being, mental health, those kinds of things. And then finally, when we talk about performance, we generally tend to think about athletic performance or exercise performance, but consider things like performance at work, just performance in your activities of day-to-day living. So, these 3 things, there's interplay between these 3 things, and these 3 things affect each other. And there are products that can help to address each one of these issues. And what I'm going to talk about today are these, what I consider to be the 3 products for the 3 core needs. Now, Susan went in to talk about pro-vitality and had said that pro-vitality, if you had to do one thing, pro-vitality would be that thing, and I agree with that. Now, if you had to pick these other things, if you were trying to optimize your overall approach, your overall strategy to weight loss or improving your body composition or whatever, these are the 3 products that I think I would recommend, okay? The first would be the shake, NeoLife shakes, and as I've said many times before, these things are very, very good for improving body composition. They have a high protein content. They have a great amino acid profile. They have fiber to keep you satisfied and full. They have essential vitamins and minerals. So it's a really great product to help improve body composition. Elevate. We know that Elevate increases physical or mental energy, it increases focus, attention, and these are some of the things that may be sacrificed when we're trying to lose weight, right? We take upon some extreme calorie restriction that can lead to problems with brain fog and things like that. We'll talk about those things individually here. And then finally, there's pro-vitality. I'm not really going to talk a whole lot about that anymore because I don't think I can really add anything, but you get the idea, right? One of these things, pro-vitality, really sort of leans more towards that well-being and health aspect. Elevate leans towards that performance aspect, and then the NeoLife shakes lean primarily towards that body composition that we were talking about. So, but all of these products influence each one of these sort of domains. So when we're looking at your health and well-being, your overall health and well-being, you can see that these 3 products, and there's a little description up here behind each of these products that explains what they do. And each one, I'm not going to read these things. I was going to, but I'm going to pressure Ashley into providing these things for you so that I don't have to read them. So we have, and you'll see these descriptions are different on each one of these things that I show. So this page here will explain how each one of these products influences or plays some role in improving body composition. Next, we have personal health and well-being. And again, these descriptions are different. So these pages look the same, but the descriptions behind each product is different. And again, these things hopefully will be made available to you. They will. And then finally, we're talking about improved fitness performance. And again, you'll see that these descriptions are different, but they'll sort of sum it all up for you when you get your hands on these. So let's talk about these things individually. Why do we care about body composition more than we care about weight? Now, I put up here an image from a test called a DEXA scan. Anybody ever had a DEXA scan before? Yeah, okay. So DEXA scan is a way to measure bone density. That's primarily what the technology was created for, but it just so happens, if you do a full body DEXA scan, it's basically the gold standard for measuring body composition, okay? Now, we have a client here, Mary, who we worked with for 5 months, and I put her results up here, and I circled the results, and I know you can't see that. Well, you might be able to see it. You might be able to. How about these screens? Are these things crazy or what? I'm back there, I feel like I'm watching giant people up here. They're so clear, it's frightening. Okay, it's a good thing you're also good looking. All right, so let's look at Mary's 5 months result here, 5-month results here. So she lost 15 pounds of fat in 5 months, okay? She gained 11 pounds of muscle in that 5 months. She lost 8.4% of her body fat, and her overall weight loss was 4 pounds, okay? Now we'll come back to this. Now the next person up here is Jimmy. Now this is the same test, it's just a different machine, so it looks a little different. And I pulled out this part of Jimmy's results here. And you can see that this graph, this blue graph plots his total weight, the red graph plots his fat mass, and the green graph plots his lean mass. So if we were gonna look at Jimmy's 3 month results, Jimmy gained 3 pounds of fat. He lost 11 pounds of muscle. His body fat percentage gain was 2.4%, and his body weight loss was 8 pounds. Okay? Now let's put this in perspective. We have Mary's 5-month results and Jimmy's 3-month results. Mary, in 5 months, loses 4 pounds. Now let's make believe, and Jimmy loses 8. Let's make believe you come to me and say, I really need to lose weight. Todd, help me out. And I say, all right, we're gonna do X, Y, Z, and we're gonna do it for 5 months, and you're probably gonna lose about 4 pounds. What would you say to me? You're an idiot. I'm not gonna do that. I know how to lose 4 pounds, right? I could put a garbage bag on, take some laxatives, boom. I'm down 8 pounds, how's that? Right? It's easy to lose weight. Losing weight is not hard. Keeping weight off is hard. Everybody knows how to lose weight, but keeping the weight off in a healthy manner, that's not so easy, okay? Mary lost 15 pounds of fat in 5 months. Jimmy gained 3. Mary gained 11 pounds of muscle. Jimmy lost 11. Mary loses 8.5% of her body fat. Jimmy gains 2.4. Now again, if I said to you, you can do my thing for 5 months and lose 4 pounds, or you can do Jimmy's thing for 3 months and lose 8 pounds, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do Jimmy's thing, because we've been taught that successful alteration of your body means rapid weight loss, okay? The thing you need to take home from this, fast loss is not fat loss. The faster you lose weight, the more likely it is to be from muscle. There is no exception to that, okay? One of the strongest predictors of whether or not you will regain your weight back after losing it is how much muscle did you lose during the intervention, okay? Now, if we look at Mary's result, how much muscle did she lose during the intervention? How much muscle did Jimmy lose during the intervention? What do you think Jimmy did to lose this? Keto. Yes. That's what Jimmy did. Keto. Jimmy decided he was going to cut his carbs. Did he ever get into ketosis? Probably not. He probably just cut a bunch of carbs out, which is the kiss of death for weight loss. Actually, it's not. It's actually pretty good for weight loss. It's horrible for keeping it off. You'll gain it right back immediately if you do that. because all you're doing is changing water composition in the body, okay? The point is we've been conditioned to believe that these kinds of results, 8 pounds lost in a couple months, that these are reasonable, sustainable ways to lose fat, and they're not. Fat loss is slow. But understand that if you looked at Mary after 5 months, her 4-pound weight loss makes her look like a completely different person. Jimmy, he don't look good, right? Jimmy gains 3 pounds of fat and loses 11 pounds of muscle. He might be smaller. He's not leaner, he's fatter, right? His body fat percentage went up 2.5%. He's 8 pounds lighter and he's fatter, okay? So this clearly isn't the way we want to do things. All right, so let's talk about the relationships among these 3 things. So this is a little Venn diagram I threw up here, and you can see that these 3 things sort of overlap in certain places. So if we look at the relationship between performance and well-being, you can see there's an overlap there. And performance and well-being can overlap without involving body composition. You can be generally healthy, you can be performing well, but you can be at a higher risk for disease due to the fact that your body composition isn't optimal, right? If we look at the relationship between performance and body composition, you can be lean and performing well, but that could be coming at the risk of your overall health. And the Olympics start today, right? Is it today? Gymnastics. Perfect example, right? When we look at gymnasts, what does a successful female gymnast look like physically? They're small, they're short, they're light, 5 foot, 95 pounds. How do you think that happens? It's a combination of genetics, but that's an athletic population that is notorious for underconsumption of food. Which, if you don't eat, you'll stay small, right? And your performance in gymnastics is better the smaller you are. Now, they're performing well, right? Their performance is high, their body composition is great because they're really lean, but if they have osteoporosis by the time they're 30 because they were eating incorrectly during their younger years, they're not optimal, right? You can be lean. If we look at the relationships between well-being and body composition, you can be lean and healthy and disease-free, but still not performing optimally. Maybe you're not sleeping well, or mentally you're not on your game at work or whatever's going on. So just because something appears optimal on the outside doesn't mean that it is on the inside. So what's the ideal scenario? The ideal scenario is to be in this sweet spot here. And this is when you achieve a healthy body composition through sustainable means that also enhance your overall well-being. Right? Now, if we look at the gymnasts, for example, we could say, are they achieving a healthy body composition? Well, yeah, they're lean, they have low fat, but are they doing it through sustainable methods? Probably not. Right? Think about a bodybuilder. If you look at a bodybuilder on stage, they're really lean, they're performing well because they're on stage, let's say they win. They're performing well and they're lean, but bodybuilders on stage are not healthy individuals, right? I mean, they've been doing extreme dieting, dehydration, sodium depletion, carb depletion. It's not a situation that you would define as healthy, but they might look healthy, right? All right. So what's the goal? Our goal then should be to achieve that healthy body composition through sustainable methods that enhance overall well-being. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, let's look at our core 3 products and the relationship among those products, just like we looked at the relationships between performance, well-being, and body composition. So for performance, we have a primary product, Elevate. As I said, with periods of caloric restriction, when you're dieting, you can get mental brain fog, things of that nature, and Elevate can help with that. Well-being, we have Pro Vitality. As Dr. Beck said, if you only had to take one product that really focused on improving your health, Pro Vitality would probably be it. this helps cover these nutritional gaps. How many times have you heard somebody say, you can get everything you need through food alone? Right? Oh yeah, nobody ever heard that. Every one of you has heard it, right? A better question is, will you get everything you need through food alone? No, you're not going to do that. You might be able to do it in theory, but who gets every micronutrient they need every day? 100% of the RD? Nobody does that, right? And if you look at the fish oil example, if we know that eating omega-3 increases or decreases your risk for cardiovascular disease and all this other stuff, and let's say we were only going to get that omega-3 through salmon, we weren't going to take any supplements. Salmon's got a lot of calories in it. It's a fatty fish, right? It's like you'd be eating salmon every day. You wouldn't be a lean person, okay? So this notion that you can get everything you need in food, yeah, you might be able to, but the amount of food that you'd have to consume in order to do that would be prohibitive. It would cause you fat gain. It would result in a negative outcome, right? Body composition. The primary product here, NeoLife Shakes, a low-calorie, high-protein option. You will hear me harp about protein. Every time I give a talk, I'm going to tell you, eat more protein. I don't care how much you're eating, eat more. That's what I'm going to tell you, right? Abby will probably say the same thing, or something like that, hopefully. Not going to make me look dumb. She's much smarter than I am. Okay, so, and then, so here, again, our sweet spot, right? This is the area where dietary supplementation is optimized to fill these potential gaps, and that promotes optimal body composition and optimal well-being, okay? So if I had to summarize this, the three major areas of concern for overall health: body composition, performance, and well-being. And despite your best efforts, you will always have nutritional gaps. They will always exist. So this is where supplementation plays a key role, right? I mean, I know people that are so proud of the fact that they never take supplements. I get everything I need through food. No, you don't. You really don't. Right? And I don't know what they're trying to accomplish or prove by only getting things through food, but I just don't see the reason for that. I'm very much a man of convenience. When something is easy and makes my life easier, I want to do it. And if I can take supplements and optimize my health rather than pour over macros and blah, 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 I would much rather just take the supplement and be done with it, right? Okay. Problems with nutritional gaps generally worsen when you are going to try and lose weight through calorie restriction. So when we talk about body composition improvement, this happens when the calorie restriction is small. If you're cutting 600-700 calories out of your diet, it's too much. You're going to lose muscle. Okay, small calorie deficits are the key to fat loss while maintaining or increasing muscle mass, but that takes time, and that leads to slow changes on the scale, but rapid changes on the DEXA. Right? You get on a DEXA and you're doing things right, and you can see fat go down and muscle go up really, really quickly, and you get on the scale and there's no difference at all. Right? If I lose 5 pounds of fat and gain 5 pounds of muscle, I look like a different person, but not according to the scale. According to the scale, I'm the same person as I was, right? Incorporating key NeoLife products as staples into the diet will help to fill these nutritional gaps, and that will support sustainable, optimal body composition in a healthy manner. That's all I got.